Hey, good morning. It's today is the 16th of June, 2020. I want to do a video today on how I struck it rich. When about 16, going on 17 years ago, I met a young lady who was a single mother, and she had a little girl. And I always had it in my head I was never going to get involved with a single mom. Somebody had planted that seed into my head, and so that was something I was never willing to do. But I met this young lady, and I found out she had a daughter. And so knowing in the back of my mind I wasn't going to get too involved there, I decided to date her. And I wasn't a Christian. I didn't become a Christian until 7 years ago, going on 8. But so, I was just gonna, mess around, date her, whatever. Didn't matter to me that she had a daughter. And I met her little girl, and I fell in love with her. And one day I would go visit her on the weekends. And we would just basically be like a little family kind of thing. And one day I was driving home, because she lived about an hour from me, and I was driving home, and I was just thinking, I'm young, I've got my own house, I've got a good job. I could just like call block her, just never go back, just blow her off. And the Lord spoke into me that day, even as a non-Christian. He spoke into me, and He told me that if I do that I'll be cursed among women the rest of my life. And I'd had some bad relationships, and so anyways, that really struck home to me. That really influenced me big time. And beside that, I love this little girl, and I didn't want to see her grow up without a father. Not that that's what would have happened. I'm sure the Lord would have sent somebody else, but I knew that I could love her like she was my own, and I was worried that no one else would do that. And so decided to stick with it and stick it out and continue with her. And we eventually got married and had more children, and since then we've had actually 4 more children, so there's 5 total. And that little girl has grown up. She's been a straight A student her whole life. She got 1 B, and I think she missed it by like 1 or 2 points, and it was a very, very difficult class. And it was chemistry, college chemistry that she took in high school. She graduated high school with 1 credit shy of her 2-year AA degree, because had she gotten that 2-year degree, she would have had to go into college as a junior, and she would have had to forfeit potential scholarship opportunities and things of that nature. You get more scholarships as a freshman. So she graduated high school with just short of her 2-year degree. She's always dressed professionally and modest. She doesn't care about guys. She doesn't care about dating. She is waiting for the Lord to send her a mighty man of God when that day comes, when that day arrives. And she also is expecting me to assist in picking out her husband when that time comes. I truly couldn't have asked for and received a greater daughter, much less child, in the world than what God blessed me with. And that was because I think that He rewarded me so greatly. Because even as a non-Christian, I listened and I heard and I showed faith. And I just think about how blessed I am. And she's going to school. She's going to law school after she finishes her bachelor's. She's received a scholarship. She's got scholarships, so she's been accepted into a major university. And I just can't believe how the Lord's blessed me so much. So anyways, that's a little testimony of how I struck it rich. And of course, I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about rich in love and spiritually and all the things that truly matter in this world. I don't care about wealth. I don't care about these things, because I know when these things come into my life, they tend to pull me from God. So I'm content in just kind of getting by. I just want to get by and get to the next life. I want to get to salvation. I want to get to Jesus. And I've given my life to God. I've given everything I have to God. I've asked Him to just control me and take over my life. And if He wants me to suffer for Him, I'm happy to do it. Because in my opinion, in my belief, the ends justify the means. So it doesn't matter what happens, as long as I get to that point, as long as I get to that place of salvation, that's all that matters to me. It doesn't matter if I have to eat out of a garbage can and live under a bridge out of a cardboard box. None of that matters, as long as I get to heaven someday, as long as God saves me. That's it. That's my goal. That's my whole goal in life. So anyways, that's a little bit of a testimony on me. God bless.